Welcome to Influential Entrepreneurs, bringing you interviews with elite business leaders and experts, sharing tips and strategies for elevating your business to the next level. Here's your host, Mike Saunders.
Well, hello and welcome to this episode of Influential Entrepreneurs. This is Mike Saunders with Marketing Huddle, and today we're privileged to have with us Craig Ceccanti, who is the co-founder and CEO of Pinot's Palate. Welcome to the program, Craig.
Thanks, Mike, for having me. I'm excited.
Hey, so I reached out to you because you guys were named as one of Inc. 5000's recipients in 2016, so congratulations on that. And I just wanted to start off with, of course, give us background in what is Pinot's Palate, and then what is this your first year on the Inc. 5000 or multiple years? And then we'll get more into, once we learn about your business, just kind of some of your best practices. But let's get started off with what your firm is and what your focus is and how you got into that particular industry.
Yeah, it was our first year on the Inc. 5000 list, which we're absolutely honored. So what Pinot's Palate is, what we want to be is the girls' night out, fun night out, team building event, and we also do some kids camps. And at the core, it's a painting class, 2 or 3 hours. You drink beverages during that time, typically wine. We're known for wine. Some of our locations are bar, some are BYO, just depending on the state. We are in retail locations. We have about 135 open locations all over the U.S. Customers typically try to plan their night out, where we do a lot of girl night out and date night kind of group activity. They go onto the website, pick a class that they want to do, and they show up and enjoy the evening and leave with a masterpiece.
And I'm sure masterpiece in quotes, because whatever skill level that you are, it becomes your masterpiece because you actually did it. So I think that's a really interesting aspect as well.
Yeah, we've learned really quickly in the early days that wine and alcohol played a big role in how it started for us, because we're all so attuned to not making mistakes in our day-to-day life that getting involved in art is kind of a challenge. So having a few glasses of wine to get out of the world of making mistakes is really what art's all about. So after a few glasses, they take it, they make it their own, and they make it something they're really proud of.
Well, you also mentioned team building, and I think that's a really interesting concept to think about because, my kids in school, they do all of these fundraisers, and they always do the same thing, the world's finest chocolate or the whatever that it is. And whenever they come up with something new and interesting, it's like, ooh, that's great. And it does so much better than what they've done every single year. Well, I'm sure that you could bullet point out, traditional team building exercises are typically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is something that's very different. So I love how this is positioned as, something unique and fun, but for that team building aspect. So is there then a structure? If you had a group of ladies for ladies' night out, they're going to come in and do something, but then is there a different structure for a corporate team building environment?
There absolutely is. And when we started the business, we didn't really think of the team building market, and companies started to use us for that. And I think what they get out of it, you can only go to a drum circle or a bowling alley so many times.
Yep.
And what they get out of it is a really collaborative environment where you get to see someone's personality tested. We have a lot of large companies, accounting firms, Price Waterhouse, Deloitte, even some of the big oil and gas. They come out and they'll bring their recruiting classes from college out just to get to see, is this someone that's going to follow directions exactly? Is it someone that likes to go off on their own and have fun or sing songs? So it tells a lot about a person. But yes, for girls' night out, it's a lot more structured. You show up, there's a sign paying for the night. But with companies, we work with them to create custom paintings. We do jigsaw puzzles where everybody paints a part. At the end, they have to figure out how it goes together. It can be a secret message from the sales manager. We do a lot of custom fun stuff. And we also do it off-site. So we'll go out to the company instead of them bringing 60 people to our location. We'll go to them and do it on-site there, which makes it a lot more convenient.
Yeah, I think that would be as well, and I think that there's so much room for creativity, not only in the art, but also in that, team building aspect, because I'm just envisioning what you said about, the puzzle pieces, and they put it together, and then the result is, hey, it's a message from the sales manager, and it's, kind of like,
right.
then it gets to be something where it's relevant to the business, but also it's a fun thing, like, oh, that's so awesome because it's a message, and, go team, or whatever that the message may be. I think that is so neat, and how interesting to have the email come out to the internal staff to go team building exercise next Friday, and people are rolling their eyes. But I'll bet when you get feedback and when people are done, I'll bet the reviews and the engagement response is just off the charts from that team building exercise. Have you seen that as well?
Yes, we have, and the staff typically request to come back because it's fun and loose. It's not something really structured where some of the group it might feel like it's corny and some of the group really get into it. Plus, you have alcohol, so that's always welcomed by most teams, and they get to make it what they want. So it's a loose environment where they have to hang out, but also catch up with their coworkers. So there's a lot of time to mingle and chat with the other people that you might work with but never really get to talk to on a personal level. So we just get outstanding response. One of the really fun ones that a company actually came up with is kind of a blind version where our instructor just gives the instructions and doesn't show them what they're painting. And then everybody has to interpret the painting as it goes, and you see how different everybody's interpretation is. And obviously you can weave a lot of business lessons into that.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Can you think of like a specific, what's the, I don't know, craziest, corniest, most, memorable kind of team building exercise result that you've seen? I mean, that sounds like an interesting one. Can you think of another one as well?
We've done that. We've done something called musical chairs, and these all come from just collaboration with the company. Hey, what do you want to get out of it? As a franchise system, we have so many incredible owners, and we have one specifically that worked in team building and HR, Charisse from our Tustin location in California. So many times we'll call and talk to her about how to kind of weave business lessons. So musical chairs, everybody paints on a painting for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then they switch chairs. And at the end, your painting's been touched by everybody else on the team, which obviously, a finished work product in a work environment is touched by a lot of people, and how you need to take care of it like it's your own. So a lot of really neat things like that come out of it. But we do wacky, really fun ones like black light classes, paint your boss's head. Any idea you come up with, we can do it.
That's really neat. And then thinking about the Mom's Night Out type of, more consumer focused, I know that literally this past Sunday I went to a local place here. We live just outside of Denver, and my wife and 3 daughters had gone a couple weeks ago to this it's called Into the Fire, and it's just one local location. They do pottery. So exactly the same concept as what you're doing, except just with pottery. And they had made some, soap dispenser and cup and coffee cup, and they can paint it their own. And I went in there on a Sunday afternoon at like 12:30 or 1, and it was just packed. And so I found it very interesting that kind of concept is so attractive. So what was it that made you at some point in time think of painting, and then at the same time integrating in, the wine with it? What was that point that you saw that made you want to move forward into that concept?
Yeah, so just to back up and kind of tell you the founding story, my mom brought the family to a painting class over the holidays in 2004. My brother and I didn't want to go to it, so we brought alcohol with us and got drunk there, and we had a blast. And that's where the idea started. So it was really for Charles, Beth, and I, the other co-founders, we just wanted to create something for ourselves that we found fun. And I think what's happening now is people want to create something. They want to touch that artistic side of their brain, and that's really fascinating, as well as kind of unplug and disconnect from some of the technology. We've seen retail in general move much more to an experience type of model. You see it in Build-A-Bear and other types of places, American Girl. And pottery is a step in that direction. I think what Pinot's Palate's done that's different than the pottery market as well as the rest of the paint and sip market is just focus way more on the entertainment value. We don't call ourselves a painting class. We don't try to be one. We're there to listen to good music, have fun with friends, and a byproduct is you leave with a painting that you've completed. I think where a lot of our customers that have done pottery before really like our model is that, A, you get to take it home with you that night. You don't have to go back and get it later. Also, B, you get instruction. So if you're not creative, I've gone to pottery, and most of the time I've left kind of disappointed with my product because I'm not an artist. I'm not all that creative. So to go and have some guidance of step-by-step guidance, almost like Bob Ross, but much, much easier, you can leave with something that you're surprised that you were able to do, and any family or friends that see it will also be surprised.
Well, and that's kind of gets back into expansion, scaling, word-of-mouth marketing. I will bet you that you have way more new business coming in from word of mouth because people come home and they talk about it, and they take a picture and it's on their Facebook. Look what I just did last night. People are commenting going, I didn't know you painted. And you're like, I don't, but we had such a good time. So how have you seen that kind of, I would suspect, explode and morph into bringing more awareness to the brand?
Yeah, the concept's very, very fun to market. I didn't start out as a marketer, but have definitely morphed into one. I know that you adjunct professor for marketing. I do as well for Rice University. And there's just so much fun stuff you can do with partnerships and wineries and restaurants and ice cream shops. But yeah, the customers really tell the story, and part of our mission statement is to do things with extraordinary customer service. And that's one of our differentiators, and where we focus on is that customer experience. And they do the marketing for us, or at least a lot of it. They tell their friends, we had so much fun, plus they have this artifact that someone might see in the house. And everybody loves to share experience on the internet, Facebook, look at me, look how much fun I'm having. I do as well. So it's easy to kind of get viral with it in the social space.
And so you have been in business for how many years?
April 2009, so coming up on 8.
Okay. And then 2016 was your first year on Forbes 5000. What was kind of the tipping point, to use a Malcolm Gladwell phrase, but what would you say a tipping point would be where you started gaining that momentum that then kicked you into this new realm where you're in the Inc. 5000?
Early on in 2010 when we started to franchise, in 11, we took a lot of extra time, research, and caution. That's just the type of people Charles and I are, to make sure we were building a really sound infrastructure to grow a chain and a franchise system like ours. And some of the things we did was invest heavily in technology. We brought on and took our time to bring on great partners. Those franchisees are everything. So, our first 10, 20 franchisees that we selected were incredible. We said no to a lot of people. And their impact in their local markets is what allowed us to really accelerate growth and increase studio openings and bring on more great partners all across the country over the last 3 years, which is where a lot of our growth has come, which is how we got on that list.
Yeah, I think that's really an interesting thought, which is how do you scale? And I think that you even have alluded to the fact that there's some things that you started noticing that you might not have noticed, to start off with, and then you kind of, not a full pivot, but you kind of focus on that because now that has become, in your awareness. So from an operational standpoint, I understand you have a proprietary software that runs kind of your business side and the franchise side. Was that a key piece of helping you be able to scale, confidently, knowing that everything is organized?
It is key, and it helps the franchisees as well, especially when they're looking to add, a second or third location to their ownership. But yeah, and the challenge is, as you look to scale, you kind of have how important is first movers advantage? Obviously, by going slower in the beginning for us and investing in building this infrastructure, technology, and the right people in the right places, we were a little slower to market, but we were spring-loading our company for future growth, which we're really happy with because it fits our personality. We're not, Charles and I and the leadership team at Pinot's Palette and the whole staff are not very good at doing things halfway. So it was the right plan for what we think is our industry and being the premier in the industry, but also for our team.
Yeah, I think that's super important because did you or did you not start off thinking that you would be a franchise?
We didn't. We actually started the concept as just a hobby. Like, let's do this on the weekends for fun. We like to do this. We don't know if other people will either. I think where that decision came down to us, and I definitely have a lot of students and other business entrepreneurs coming to me and saying, should I franchise? I think for us, what fit after doing all the numbers and performance and the investments was our personalities. We love to consult and help other entrepreneurs do what we've done, and that's where our passion lies. So we felt like franchising was the best model to fit that for us. And also bringing local ownership. So it's really key for that owner to be local and active in the community. That's what makes our business really go.
Yeah, because it's such a hands-on business. You want that local touch because that's how you're going to get integrated into the community so that the word of mouth kicks in.
Absolutely.
Hey, so kind of wrapping up, landing the plane, and let's before we guide people to how they can learn more about your company and the fun classes, what would you say for another business that's kind of right at the precipice of we're starting to get some momentum, we're looking to scale, we would love to hit that Inc. 5000 designation as well. What is one or two things that you would say that are just critical to improving that growth, scaling that growth, and keeping in mind so that you do it the right way?
I think being on the list is a byproduct of running a good business, but it's not everything. I think the key is, as I mentioned, the people involved in your organization, and it's not just for us the franchisees we've brought on, but the staff that you surround yourself with. Are they passionate about your concept? Are they passionate about the goals and objectives of the organization, as well as the staff that are touching the end consumer, which we feel like are the most important in our organization. And for us, those are all of the artists. Recruiting and finding those people that are also passionate about delivering that service and are willing to work hard to improve it every day. I'd say stay focused on that stuff, and the numbers will work out the way they do.
Have you ever read the book, The Go-Giver?
I have not.
If you're a reader, which I would suspect that you are, this is one you could get and read in a weekend. It is super fast, written by Bob Berg, but just go on Amazon and get Go-Giver, and you'll love it because it embodies what you just said without even knowing it. Because I said, how can people get on the Inc. 5000? And that's a fine designation, but you said that's a byproduct. Well, that's so astute because success and wealth and money and accolades are a byproduct of the value you provide to your client base, your community, your verticals, whatever you want to think of. And you said it so well because we want to help people have fun. We want to give them a good experience. We want good people on our team. We want passionate people. And, oh yeah, we do such a good job that we might have made a buck or two or we got a designation or we had some expansion, but we didn't steamroll over people to get that designation, and now people are looking at us going, well, wow, what did that get you? You did it the right way. And the Go-Giver is a fictional story teaching the business principle of just that, giving and serving for the purpose of giving and serving, and then money is that indication, or success is that indication that you've done it well. So kudos to you. Congratulations on that designation this first year. What's the best way that listeners can visit your locations or learn more about your business?
Yeah, we'd love to have everybody come out to one of our classes at a location near you, pinotspalette.com. You'll find everything you need. And if you're interested in opening one of our locations in your market, pinotspalette.com/franchise, you'll find tons of great info.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Craig. It was wonderful getting to know you and your company, and we appreciate you coming on today.
Mike, thanks for having me.
You've been listening to Influential Entrepreneurs with Mike Saunders. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.influentialentrepreneursradio.com.